Alright, so what's up YouTube? It's Tonight Saint here, back with another video. And I think I really just want to share for real. Like I said, I don't think I'm on the channel. I'm gonna start just speaking about my experiences and I guess just being transparent with just the channel and just being honest as I can. I'm not saying I don't already be honest as I am, but I'm saying like with in terms of just my experience and just navigating through life. So, because if y'all know, I'm 22. I'm on a spiritual path, learning and growing, just trying to understand my life and the life I was given, and trying to figure out a way that I can live it to the best of my own ability, but also the way that I guess I'm supposed to, that is laid out for me to be. And I guess today I think I want to really reflect on, I guess, my like socially awkward like tendencies. Like one thing I said, as I've been growing in awareness and just growing in my own, you know, being able to look at myself and being able to distinguish my thoughts and from not my thoughts, but also my behaviors, being able to analyze my behaviors to a deeper extent. I realized that I got like a deep social like anxiety with people, like to a certain extent. Like I feel like I'm scared of people. Like I think that's probably the reason why I sit in the house all day. Not saying I don't go interact with people. Like I said, people now, like I said, I be at work and I'm a very, people wouldn't think that like I got like I was shy growing up there, or people didn't think I was like an introverted individual, just because when I'm at work I'm such an extroverted person, in the sense where maybe I've always been an extroverted person, and maybe just like my traumas that always kept me to myself and private and introverted. But this job is the reason why I'm very social. Like I said, I laugh all day. I mean, whether or not I'm always a laughing person, but I'm very like, I have no fear with talking to people in a sense. Like I said, I'm like a big jester, I ain't gonna lie. And I don't mind being a jester, but that's usually how I am. But when I deal with people, like I have a genuine, like I don't feel comfortable talking to people to a certain extent. Like growing up, I was always, I think just by my parents and the way that my family was raised and how they are, I was just naturally like an introvert. Like I was always staying to myself. I was, uh, shy. Like I said, had very little friends, and that's not even like in a pity way. Like I said, I was always had my chosen few. Like I said, I stuck around them, and I was just cool with them for real. But a lot of that shyness and like social anxiety and just not wanting to be able to be around people and talk to people, it hindered a lot of my communication skills in a sense. Growing up, like I realized that I would mumble a lot. I realized that, like I said, in many ways I wasn't thinking before I was speaking, only because a lot of my life I didn't speak. And not saying that like I was like mute, or like I was autistic or something. I just nothing. I'm thinking about it deeper, I think I felt like I felt so lowly around everybody. Like I said, I just didn't talk to people. I didn't really feel the need to talk. And since I was afraid of my own voice. And then I'm looking at it at a deeper level. It's kind of interesting now that I'm on this path, and I'm learning to talk to people and learning to talk behind a camera, because there was a certain point in time where I didn't speak. I didn't want to speak. I was scared to speak. I was ashamed of my voice. I was scared of my voice essentially now. And as the years progressing, as I'm, like I said, even with this YouTube channel, I'm getting better at speaking, and I'm not scared of my opinion and the truth that I try to live in my truth, but also I try to speak my truth as much as I can. And I'm learning how to do that more efficiently. But as a kid, I was so scared to do it. I used to be scared to make disruptions in class, only because I just felt so, even though like I said, people like people think I'm funny. I'm not a funny person. Like I said, I'm real ignorant. I just said the first thing that come to my head. And I feel like now, like now I talk too much, but I feel like even if I was like that back then, I would be talking too much, but also I would cause like a lot of disruption. So I felt like, but also I feel like people wouldn't believe me if I was to talk. Not saying I've been through something traumatic, but just in a funny way, poverty made me reflect upon my value as an individual. It made me feel like I was like literally like the scum of the earth. Like I wasn't worthy to have friends. I wasn't worthy to have any type of meaningful connections. So I wasn't worthy to talk. I wasn't worthy to, be, cared for and nurtured. And to a certain extent, that kind of reflected through my, it reflected towards my general attitude with, speaking. So let's say to the point where I started to really speak to people, I'm starting to build more greater relationships with people and communication with people. I'm making all these missteps. I'm making all these, wrong turns. Um, you know, Speaking in gibberish. That's one thing I hate when I do. Is like I said, like when I don't think about what I'm about to say and I start speaking in gibberish, and then I have to remind myself like to stop for like 2 seconds and really think about what I'm about to say. But most of the time that happens because I'm excited to say whatever I'm saying. Or like I said, sometimes my mouth, that's kind of crazy. I'm really a motor mouth. That's kind of real funny. But yeah, or even another thing that I used to do was, just mumbling, like just no, just speaking, not speaking, not putting no bass in my voice, not speaking with intention and purpose. And one thing I would hate, and I still hate it now, is like when people say "hun" to me. Like, that bothers me extremely. And of course, like I hear it way less now than when I did as a kid, but I guess it triggers me now from when I was a kid when people do it all the time. But you know, you just realize how you know how much you lack. Now, if I give any solutions, I mean the only solution really is to slow down with your words. Because like I said, get a speech therapist or something. But but also kind of like the social anxiety, like all that type of stuff, really melded into one problem. But I had to get out there. I had to start talking to people. I had to stop elevating these random people above myself in the sense where I feel like I was nothing. And a lot of that helped with my self-esteem growing and getting past, getting from how that low self-esteem where I thought of myself as a lowly person, and then thinking myself as like a human being. Like I said, I didn't think I was a human being. Like I said, I feel like an animal, and that hindered a lot of my relationship building with people. Like I said, I feel like everything is my fault. So like I said, I just feel like everything was my fault. I feel like the world was just my fault. Like the badness and negativity in the world was just my fault. So, uh, but yeah, you just gotta get a greater sense of yourself, self-esteem, you know, but also just go out there and talk to people. Like I said, human beings are human beings, right? I about to say nobody's, like I said, we all bleed red. I had to get that idea. I had to stop, like, how usually they say like boys are scared to talk to girls. I was scared to talk to boys and girls, men, women, you name it. As a kid, because I wasn't raised from that type of common courtesy and just that I wasn't really taught to just interact with people just because my family, just we all like little islands that don't talk to each other in a sense. That's not a bad thing. Like I said, we talk to each other now, but I'm saying like that's how I initially felt when we was younger. And I forced myself to talk to my siblings, not just because I don't want that type of negative habit to be passed down to the next generation, the kids. So, but yeah, I had to learn how to overcome a lot of my social problems just because like through the brute force, and just getting a greater sense of myself. Uh, but yeah, a lot of that really stemmed from my viewpoint of myself, but also just poverty. So yeah, like I said, of course, I appreciate y'all for listening. If y'all do, just me reflecting and just really just trying to be transparent. Like I said, I don't be trying to make a sad story. I don't be trying to front. Like I said, this channel is really me just trying to keep it real as I can. Like only because I think it's my job to do. I think it's my job to keep it real as possible. like I said, whether it's a sad reality or it's you know, a good reality, happy reality, is the reality is reality, and it must be shown, it must be understood, and it must be shared. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.